Okay, so Diddy is possibly facing one of his worst lawsuits yet. I've read through the documents so that I can get it out to you guys in very quick terms. Hey guys, this is Murad Morali, daily and consistent content. Let's get straight into this video. Now, do you guys recall Derek Lee Cardello Smith? This was somebody who came forth, sued Diddy. Apparently he was about to win 100 million and that was admitted by the judges, and then he dropped that 100 million. The judges dropped that, and he wasn't able to get that money, and then eventually his case was dismissed. This was also somebody who wanted to subpoena J-Lo and wanted her to testify against Diddy because J-Lo was a witness to certain things, and she was also around in those certain important moments of the time that Derek Lee Cardello Smith is discussing. He basically was put in prison via Diddy. Diddy set him up with the help of police, prosecution, and fake victims and a judge. So this is a very intricate lawsuit that Diddy is facing, and there are claims in this court documents that videos also exist as well of Diddy doing all of this. This is one of his worst lawsuits ever that he's facing, and once again J-Lo's name is being attached to this. She's being dragged back into this, and it's just not a good look for her either as well. In this new lawsuit, Derek Lee Cardello Smith is claiming that he was falsely imprisoned by Diddy, that Diddy framed him, and that police officers submit that they were paid to frame him, and this took place in the city of Detroit. And there are plenty of affidavits in this lawsuit as well, where you have police officers and you have the alleged victims coming out all admitting in their own statements that they were paid by Diddy, coerced and forced by Diddy to fake these statements, fake being victims, and the police obviously, refusing to listen to Derek Lee and help to put him in prison. They've all put out statements in this to admit that they are the ones who've helped Diddy. So now that they've come out with this information in this lawsuit, it now begs to differ. What kind of other lawsuits are there against people where injustice took place and there were fake statements being made? The documents of the statements of these people, where they would admit that they were paid over 100,000 in cash and to create statements against Derek Lee Cardello Smith so that he would go into prison. A judge also worked with Diddy as well. The lawsuit says the fake victim is coming forward and admits that she lied under oath against Derek in her statements too, because Diddy told her to, and she was paid $10,000, and she was the prosecution was also paid as well. This alleged victim, this fake victim, who came forward with this statement against Derek, is also saying that she too was a young victim of Diddy, and that Diddy forced her to lie and forced her to put Derek in prison, and that Diddy also paid the fake victim's sister so that she could come forward and claim that Derek Lee Cardello Smith also did this. Therefore, there were plenty of charges against Derek. There were kidnapping charges and SA charges. These were all false charges, this lawsuit is saying. This took place in Detroit, Flint, and Diddy basically also sent people to off Derek as well, 3 to be exact, but Derek unfortunately fought them off. There are also investors who were involved in these particular cases that tie down to P. Diddy and tie down to Bad Boy Records, where of course Diddy was working with these people, and in order to do so they would basically work to put people away on false charges because they just needed to be away for certain motives or reasons. Now, this is a major lawsuit that has come out. Major lawsuit, and there's also statements that video footage exists of Diddy lying, video footage exists of Diddy forcing people to testify, and that there are documents of Derek proving that he was being threatened by Diddy as well. So all of this claims to exist, but the fact that this particular lawsuit has multiple statements, not just from false victims claiming that they lied under oath because of Diddy and the Diddy forced them to do so, but also statements, guys, from the prosecution, from police officers also stating that they were working with Diddy secretly behind the scenes, and that they gave false statements themselves and also worked with these fake victims to put this particular person away. This is a huge lawsuit of corruption where there is alleged proof and video footage of Diddy working with the prosecution, working with the fake victims, even working with a judge as well. This is crazy that this has recently come out. As of a couple of days ago, this was filed and has recently been released. And this is why, guys, he doesn't need to know the witnesses too far in advance of this particular trial at all, because this lawsuit clearly shows us that he is a huge corrupt individual. One of the people who was working against Derek Lee Cardello and working, you know, with Diddy and with the fake victims is somebody called Kim Worthy. And this is terrible because I believe Kim Worthy is the DA, guys, working on the Naziah Harris case, if you guys know what that case is about. But again, Kim Worthy's name is being listed. This obviously means that retrials need to be done for loads of cases for Kim Worthy, this particular DA, and what she worked on. It goes to show you how deep the corruption lies with Diddy and what he is doing. This is why this man was not allowed bail 3 times and why it was refused, because of witness tampering and how he can go so far to tamper with judges, prosecution, police officers, and not only just these alleged victims as well when it comes to his current trial, to turn things in his tide. This is why he's not been allowed out of prison, and this is why Judge Arun has kept him at bay, because this recent lawsuit is one lawsuit that we've not read like other. This is a very different situation. These are not SA lawsuits coming out from men, women, escorts, from an escort agency. This is from Derek Lee Cardello Smith, who's coming back with another lawsuit saying that there is so much in-depth corruption, from judges to prosecution to fake victims, coming out with statements admitting that they lied under oath because Diddy told them to, or they were working with Diddy behind the scenes in order for Diddy to put false charges on people to put them away. And Derek is just one of them. So if we're now expecting, you know, as we have expected civil lawsuits of SA, we're now also going to be expecting lawsuits of people who've been falsely imprisoned or are probably sitting in prison today who are innocent of anything, and the charges aren't really there, but Diddy of course created them, uprooted these charges with a system of people who are meant to seek justice, but Diddy has them on his side to work. This is how deep the Diddy network goes, guys. This is how deep the Diddy network goes. This is crazy. And there are statements of people within this lawsuit who are admitting to be framed, and who are admitting to framing Derek and to why they framed Derek and why Diddy. This is not just what Derek's words are saying, but this is also the people that Derek is accusing of faking stuff coming out, working with them to say, yes, we did fake these stuff. Yes, Diddy told us to do this. This is definitely going to impact that trial. The more information comes out about this particular lawsuit in terms of it going viral, I hope that it does, because people need to pick this story up. This is deep, intense, and in-depth. And for the fact that J-Lo's name is being dragged back into this again, and for the fact that the man Derek isn't going anywhere, because he claims that J-Lo saw certain stuff and that J-Lo needs to be a witness at that time, and it was only a couple of months ago. People are alleging that J-Lo was the person in that particular room with Diddy and Jay-Z where allegedly things went down, and now that particular lawsuit has been dismissed with prejudice. I feel like all of this connects in some kind of way, but what we do know that definitely connects is the prosecution that is going on. I lost my train of thought. Not just the prosecution, sorry. What we do know that connects is the fact that Diddy has a tunnel of people on the other side that are definitely working with him, have worked with him. And it is crazy to me that 10 to 15 years afterwards, after trying to get Derek into prison in 2007, 2008, that these police officers who are working against him and putting these false charges are now coming out with statements to say that, yes, we were working with Diddy. Corruption in depth, one of the worst lawsuits that Diddy is facing. I don't know what this is going to do for him, but it definitely exposes that this man should never be released from jail, and this ain't going to help his case in any way, shape or form. It's a different angle. It's not an SA case. It's a corruption case. And, you know, wow. Honestly, this entire video, I haven't stopped speaking. Normally I take breaths to speak, but I don't even know how to end this video because this has really shocked me, guys. And I need to know your thoughts. Send a tip. I would appreciate it. There's a $sign there. Comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe. And I'll catch you guys soon. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. I need to breathe. Better. Wow, that is crazy, guys. That is crazy. Subscribe and I'll catch you guys soon.